Five, four, three, two, one. Bada bing, bada boom. And once again, we're here with our lovely podcast and your host, Gio and Kaola, here to bring you some love, keep it jungly, and share that light with you as we are light bearers, but so are you. How you doing, Kay?
I'm doing great, brother.
Yeah, it's been a bit. And
We're still bringing them out. Maybe not as consistent as we used to, but we're still putting the work in.
yeah, but like I said, it's I kind of like it how it is right now, in a sense, because you're pretty busy and I'm pretty busy myself, but I don't want to give it up. And I guess I think we both didn't want it to become something like we have to do, like it's a chore, like we're obliged, like it's a job, but it's something that we want to do, that we enjoy. So if we feel like putting up an episode once a week, then we will. But if we just, hey, are you in the mood today? Nah, and we want to bring it out a couple of weeks later or 3 weeks later, then we pull it out. We
And
bring it out, and if
happy
it's
approach.
pretty good.
Yeah, we can have an easy approach to it. It doesn't have to be so strict and tense. It can be relaxed and more
Yeah,
enjoyable.
because exactly the whole essence of it is that we want to share some love, but we also want to have fun with it. Like I want to enjoy it. I want to look forward to it. Like, oh man, yeah, we have something going on and stuff like that. But anyway, man, you were talking to me about your mate that came over, dude, and destroyed your punching bag, dude.
Oh,
How heavy is your punching bag, dude?
it was quite a heavy bag. It was so heavy. It's heavy to the point where I need like two people to lift it up. But
Dude, so how do you break it, dude?
okay, there was a slight rip on it, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which was like weak point, but we had taped it all up.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy that he comes to do some training with me, and I'll be honest, he's a bit of a savage when it comes to the boxing. So
Mm.
he was flowing on the bag, flowing, and before I knew it, the bag was on the floor, mate. The whole thing just dropped on the floor, and
Yeah,
I personally, I was proud. I was like, mate, that is some serious power you're dishing out there. I was bigging him up. I was telling him, mate,
mm.
what you aim for. I was making him feel good about it, but he was feeling bad that he's just ripped my bag. Do you see what I'm saying? The respect he's got for me. So before I woke up this morning, he's put another bag outside, which kind of warmed my heart. It feels good to be respected. Even by somebody that's got that much capability himself. He could be an arsehole. I mean, this is a guy
Yeah, yeah.
just beating up the bag, ripped the bag. He's a dangerous guy, man. But he could have
And
be cocky and thought, you know what, who's K? But he had so much respect for me. Before I woke up the next day, he's put another bag there. I like things like this.
yeah, that's nice. I mean, it's nice when somebody has that kind of skill, that kind of ability, and they're still down to earth, because I guess they
Mm-hmm.
realize that, you know, a lot of people that position, that are set well mentally, they know that it's really easy to go both ways. No matter how much skill you have, there's a peak and there's a downfall. There's a
Yes.
plateau, maybe there's a comeback. um, and so to keep that humility, uh, which also that kind of skill also uh, needs or comes with a responsibility, if I might say that. And it's nice to see that, because as you say, he could come over and be like, I broke your bag, I don't have to
Yeah.
give it, you should have had a better bag or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Been an
that's
arsehole.
really nice.
He could have been an arsehole about it. But even when I was bigging him up, I could see that
Mm.
he was not happy. He was like, "Okay, I didn't mean to do that." I was like, "Bruv, don't worry, man. It's just a bag." And I could just see that he just wanted to resolve the situation.
No, well, that's nice, man. That's nice. I'd have been tripping in a good way. I'd have been like, damn, dude, what the
That's what
you got it.
they
You
They were like,
got to
"What?
teach.
The savage just ripped the bag."
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck are you eating, dude? You know what I mean? I want to eat some of that. Show
I
me
mean,
the
I
secret of the
started
ooze.
knuckles. I started checking his fingers and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. But that's kind of cool though. That's
Yeah, it's cool.
which kind of brings me up to what I wanted to talk about today. Very similarly,
Mm-hmm.
and it's talking about the gurus, and
Hey,
this whole and the problem with the gurus has been going on for a long time, since like the hippie movements, where everybody went to go follow these gurus in India, you
mm,
know, and guru this and guru. I mean, I hate that fucking word, man. I'm sorry. Today I'm gonna speak some French,
man,
dude.
the
You
man got
know,
Xerxes,
yeah,
Xerxes,
but
300
it,
spot.
it could easily take you down. It lends itself to that whole cult
Yes,
idea, and and we've seen that happen time after time, and there's always somebody looking for a guru, not realizing that the guru is inside of you,
yes,
and we find that nowadays. Where I hate to see it now is in my beloved craft of calisthenics,
yeah,
of body weight exercises. And I think we've talked about this before, but
yeah,
today I'm going to expand on it a little bit more. And
yeah.
it's like there's all these gurus, and they want to show you how to do something. And you know how you can tell when it's really freaking fake, when like a warning light, when that person says like they're the only ones that know that
This world,
they've created it.
this world is so wide for somebody to say they've got the only way. You just need to be dubious of that already. How can there be only? How can you have the only way in a world where there's millions and billions and trillions of variety? You cannot have a way that fits
Yeah,
all.
well, we all have like a social mental wave too. Like we all think individually, but the whole world also has a mind connected. And so, you ever like think of something that you thought you made it up, whether
Mm,
it's something written or whatever, and you felt it's like, yeah, this is mine, and it's so awesome. And then like 3 years later or something, somewhere, if you don't put it out there, it's gonna flow onto somebody else's mind, dude, because we're
yes.
all connected that way. And then like 4 or 5 years later, like
Someone else.
some dude on the other side of the planet, like, hey, look, I'm did this and blah blah blah, and
Have you heard that?
they actually,
There's nothing new under the sun.
yeah, of course, of course. And so, especially now in this day and era where we rest on the shoulders of giants, when somebody comes and tells you that they're the ones that created it, especially when it comes to like calisthenics
Mm.
or like dynamic tension or isometrics. Yeah, sure, there are variations and maybe like tweaking and stuff like that. But when people bust out with that, it's just as ridiculous as saying like I invented fucking walking, dude.
You know, and you know something also, when some people get so caught up in this guru thing, yeah, that they start thinking they're not humans anymore. I've even,
Yeah.
back in the days, everybody knew that the Chinese martial artists, they were the
Mm,
ones you go over to, I don't know the name of the country, Yang Zhao or something, and you go
mm,
to this master. It's been passed down to him, the art of a certain type of frog style or the cricket
uh,
style. Only his masters has passed it down the lineage, and this guy is in his own world, thinking that he's some kind of god. But haven't you
mm.
seen the videos when some MMA guys started exposing them? They said, "Okay, we challenge you to a fight," and they
And
saw
yeah,
getting
and
their
and
ass
they get their ass beat. Yeah, for
get
being a
knocked
fucking
up,
clown, dude.
badly.
Well, because and that's yeah, they get ripped. They get a new butthole ripped into them, bro. And that's you know, it's kind of nice to see that in a way. I mean, I don't really want to see anybody get like lit up, like and get my rocks out of it. But
Mm.
it's sometimes I saw in The Godfather, not The Goodfellas.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
There's this line that says, "But at that point, everybody takes a beating."
Yes.
Everybody takes a beating now and then, and so, and that's the thing, we all get a beating, where it's literal or life just lights you up when you're getting out of hand and deceiving people,
You get a reminder.
instead of actually training them or teaching them something, but you're deceiving them with lies and filling them with hogwash. you
Mm.
know you need to get lit up, dude.
Yeah. Because you because it's like a form of narcissism. The art
Yes.
the student came to you for the art. He didn't come to worship you. But because you know you've got the art, you tell him he has to worship you first. And the first few years, he has to just cook you breakfast, and then you might train him. You know, that stuff
Well,
that they.
well, at least if they had the art or they were the actual creators, but when they don't have the art, where they don't have anything to deliver, but they somehow hoodwinked you or bamboozled you, you know, and then
Fake guru.
yeah, they and the faker. So you have the people that actually have the knowledge, but they want the worship,
Yes,
and
yeah,
then you have the fake ones, the ones that don't have it, want the worship and make you think like they got it.
yes. That's the worst, you know.
Well, let me tell you the story, and let me know what you think about it. You know, as you know, recently, and we're not gonna name the fitness page that we're just, let's say, both of us are part of the same fitness page,
Yep.
and you know, we happen to like it. I love that page, but occasionally you get somebody that's a bit dubious, like you said, you know, kind of shady or just kind of but
Mm.
overall there's a respect, you know, and even if you do find fellows or ladies like that, you know, there's enough room to move around, and that's what I like about that page. But
Mhm.
as you know, I have been experimenting with like things like dynamic tension and isometrics muscle control, and just doing that for a while now. Then I got into the bull worker, and then I kind of was just doing that. And once I got really into the bull worker, then I really started going back, because the bull worker let me see how important actually those exercises were. And so now I'm really focusing on it and
Mhm.
utilizing it just as much as the bull worker, like 50-50, you
Mhm.
know, and they complement each other. But the thing is when I think I told you the story, when I was a little kid, I went into the shower, and when I used to take a shower, I started like kind of flexing my arm, just going like this, you know, and I would do that like 100 times until like it felt like I had a Charlie horse. And, I was a rack of bones. And the reason why I wanted to get some muscles is because, you know, I was having some problems at home, and I kind of wanted to get strong so I can protect myself against my father at the time, you know? And so
Mhm.
anyway, so I started doing that. And then I noticed like a month later, like I had like this little bump, like I was like, wow. And then I just kept doing it. But I never really knew that was like dynamic tension or muscle control or anything like that until later years, when I discovered this book here, the course. This is actually not the original course. This is like a copied, you know, a kind of a bootleg of it, and I'm gonna buy the original one because it's not complete. But anyway, the main exercises are here, and the Charles Atlas. And then when I started studying it, I remember doing that, and
Mhm.
you know, so anyway, if you've noticed, recently I made this video because somebody asked me, like, how do I get the peak, or how do I develop my arms, right? If I
Yes.
use weights or whatever, a lot of people have asked me, and I'm like, well, I used to use weights back in the days, but I stopped, and especially now I don't use them, and my physique now is basically calisthenics, dynamic tension, muscle control, bull worker.
Mhm.
So I made this video on this thing called pulsing. Now, when I say pulsing to you, when I say pulse, what comes to mind? Pulse, your
Well,
pulse.
I've got pulses in my house, so
Yeah, exactly.
so
So it's
like a beat is a cadence to
yeah.
find a rhythm.
It's a rhythm. It's
My mate borrowed the pulses. He borrowed a set of my pulses this morning as well because he
right,
wants
right,
shadow boxing, where he wants to pulse while he's doing the shadow boxing.
right.
Which,
Exactly. So it's kind of like a beat. So we take that from the heart, the action of the
yeah,
heart, which is kind of like a pumping style. Boom, boom,
yeah,
boom, boom.
rhythm, a heartbeat, a rhythm.
Exactly. Well, um, as I started reading these books again, these books, and really studying them, like the muscle control, the essence of it is controlling your muscle and learning how to flex. each individual muscle in your body. You know, the easiest one would be the bicep, and when you squeeze the chest, but I can move each pec like this. And then if you start doing that with your shoulders and your triceps, which are a little bit more difficult to move the triceps, but eventually you can move all the muscles. And with that, when you learn how to flex each one, you learn how to control your muscle better. So then when you do an exercise, whether it's with weights or dynamic tension or the bull worker, you're not just doing the motions, but you learn how to contract that muscle the most efficient in the most efficient way, and really focus on it so that you get the most out of each rep, or if you're going to do an isometric contraction, whatever. And so, which would be like this, and this is kind of like a pulse, right? And
It is.
so right, it's a pulse. So what I decided to do recently is I combine everything. And so I said, okay, I'm going to hold an isometric contraction like this, and then I'm going to relax and then pulse 1, 2,
Yeah, you see, that's
3, 4, you know. And then so I'll do different variations, but for example, I'll give you an example of one. I'll bring it up to like maybe 30 or 40% of effort in a pulse. Boom, boom, boom. And then after I do 25, I'll get at 30% or 40%, 3 full range, which is a full dynamic tension. And then I'll go again, boom, boom, 25, and do another 3. When I get to 100, that's 4 of 25, then I'll do 25 actual full range. And mate, my arm is freaking on fire.
I can imagine.
I mean, and I combine it with the proper breathing.
That pace you just described, yeah, that's
It's
something.
intense. Dude, we got to do a workout like that. Okay. And so then I'll do that with my shoulders, but I switch the variations, like whether it's 25 or whether it's really hard, 80% contractions at 5 and then 10 full, you know, just play with it to keep variations. So I posted a video like that, man, for help, you know, to share. And then there's the character in question, Mr. Do. Let's just call him Mr. Do. Okay.
Sounds like a villain, man. This sounds like the bad guy.
Yeah, Mr. Do. Well, he sends me this video. I mean, this message. Let me see if I have my phone on here. Well, I don't have it, so I'll just paraphrase loosely. So it's like, hey, Giovanni, it was respectful. I wouldn't say he was a dick about it.
Okay.
But he very, very dubious. You know, if it would have been somebody else, like I would have felt sorry for them if they would have acquiesced, you know, his request. Well, he was like, oh, hi, Giovanni. I noticed one of the videos that you posted on the beep page, you know, and you were you're in showing like a demonstrating pulsing isometric dynamic tension. Well, I want to let you know that I discovered that or created that and have perfected it, and it's in my many courses. And so I would ask you to please remove that video, because if right, because you know, because
I created the human heart then.
So it's because it's going to violate the copyright, you know. So he wasn't forceful, but it's just like yeah, and my grandmother has wings shooting out of her ass, you know. You know what I mean? And so, but I also responded it in a respectful way, because it's no sense like getting really upset and talking crap. You're not going to get anywhere like that. So I just said like, hey, I haven't read any of your books, and as far as I'm concerned, like I discovered that for myself. I didn't create it. I stumbled upon it. It's just like saying, like, if you have 100 people and somehow there's an ocean out there, you know what I mean? And then you just bump into the ocean and shit, like on one side and 50 people on the other side. You don't know if this guy bumped into the ocean. You just think that you bumped into the ocean and you're the only one, you know. And so I explained, like I told him, like I've been doing that since I was a little kid in the Charles Atlas. And I said, but with all due respect, I'm not gonna bring it down. I'm not looking for profit, and I don't see where this violates any copyright. And so he responded to me with another mail. Oh, I see. I've never read like the Max Halding book, and here's what I'm talking about. Max Halding, Muscle Control, which is talking about flexing muscles, and there's all kinds of like dynamic tension in that. And this was before Charles Atlas. This is really old shit.
Okay.
And then he was like, and I can see where you're coming from, but so I would like to offer you one of my courses, you know, and I'm sure you can like get really creative with it and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't really, you just kind of, that kind of got.
Take some kind of credit. Sounds to me like he tried an approach with you and you told him, look, that's not accurate. So he's thought, okay, let me offer you one of my books here so that you can further continue what you're doing and I'll get some kind of credit because now my book has given you extra creativity. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, and this individual, I've never really seen him, and you know who I'm talking about. I never really see him sharing anything like for the group.
No,
you know, like okay, if he wants to advertise a little bit of himself, that's great. But you know, this whole thing like, oh, my courses are the best and the only true way to success and all. And there's another character there that have gotten his courses, and it's always like kind of giving him credit and peddling it, you know. And it's just really seedy because what I like about this site is that everybody just comes to the table and we just share a little wisdom with each other or a little knowledge, you know. And if you have a YouTube channel or whatever and you want to share that, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. We'll support you. But that's just really seedy, and I saw that way too. Yeah, he wants like some credit, you know, or some promotion,
right? Because he saw that when you said to him that you discovered it all by yourself, so he's offering you the book so that now when you come up with the videos you can start saying, yes, I was doing my stuff, but then I saw this stuff in this book of this guy, and all of a sudden I've got some new ideas. So then he thinks that you're, through him offering you that book, you're only gonna add to his narcissism, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, this
further inflame his cult, you know, because he has an agenda behind why he offered. First, he told you that you were violating some kind of copyright thing, and when you said to him, "What bollocks is that?" Then he comes to you like, "Okay, here's my book." So he wants you to give credit. So when you're doing your next videos, you can say, "Oh, here's his book, and I learned this and this from him." So that's also bigging him up in a way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, see, and I don't mind supporting people, but that's kind of snaky, dude. Kind of sneaky, and
the person in mention hasn't got that kind of human touch. He doesn't have that community, because when you're talking about the page that we're on, which is a community-based page where we all interact, this is a person that interacts. The only thing you see, the only content that comes from this person is when they're like telling everybody, okay, God is here again, and I've come to tell you that look at pictures of me. I'm in the best shape humanly possible. So get this book, buy this book, because this other person's book is crap. So, but if you buy my book, that's the only content I seem to see from it.
Yeah, the only content, like he's talking about, is a community, you know, and we're all characters in there. We're all characters of this community story, and that's what I like about it, you know. But we interact with each other, and like the only interaction I've seen from this one fellow is anytime he wants to sell something,
basically.
And so that just gets under my skin, dude. You know what I mean? And I get it. We all have to make a living. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you have a skill, you know, it's okay to charge for it because you've earned it. But there's a way to go about it, mate.
There's a humility that still comes with it because the skill was still provided to you by the creator. We don't create nothing on this planet.
Exactly. No, we don't.
Created by the Most High. All we do is discover and identify where they're hidden. So the things of the creator are all around the place. Sometimes you might have to dig 50 meters through the earth before you find some piece of gold. But when you find that gold, you did not invent the gold. All you did was identify and discover.
Exactly.
The person is teaching has just been discovered and identified, and just it's like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. So nobody makes anything on this planet. We've already got the Most High. He's the only creator. There's only one creator, and he's above all of us. All we do is identify and find his creations.
I see the same way. Well, here, let me give you another perfect example of that. You know, there's another character we'll talk about. He's a great guy. I love it. He's a power lifter, and he's out in Europe. You know, he's kind of like a Viking. And what I like about it, he's always training with the heavy metal music and stuff like that. Well, if you know who I'm talking about.
I'm thinking. I think I do.
Yeah, and he's great. I love the way he trains. He's very jungly with it. You know, I would say he's very Viking with it. You know. Yeah, and and he's not arrogant, you know, and he just out there training and just say, oh, I've tried this and I've tried that and whatnot. And some stuff I'm just like, whoa, I never done that before, man. I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate that, and then maybe find my own variation of it. And that's what I like about it. I check out his shit and just freaking click it. Yeah, that was awesome, whatnot. He just shows what he's doing, and he tries to inspire you, but he doesn't really want to preach anything, because all he really cares about is just training. And that's what I like about it. That's what I love about him. And so, but anyway, remember when we first started training and we had the body twister?
The power twisters, yes.
Okay, the power twisters. There you go. The body twisters. And so remember how I would bend it and then hold it in that, keep it held in the bend, kind of like isometrics, and then do all this kind of like an iso motion with it, right? And then move forward, do the presses and stuff like that, and move this way and that way, and then do the reps with it. I used to, can you hear me?
Nearly killed me a few times with those sets.
Yeah, those things are amazing, right? But I never told you that I discovered them, right? Because I didn't. This first time I had a twist and I had an idea, oh, I can do it like this. It's great.
No, but you did discover them. You just didn't create them.
Exactly. I discovered them for myself. There you go. That's a good point.
That was a discovery. That actually,
okay. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. That's a good point. But I didn't claim like I was the master of it, or I created it. There you go. Like I made this shit. This is mine, and I'm gonna throw a copyright on it. Imagine trying to throw a copyright on push-ups, dude. You know,
that's the next level of crazy.
Well, there's one cat that the Viking, you know, let's call him Thor, because that's what he reminds me of. He's fucking Thor, dude. Yeah. And I mean, if there's any guy I really, really, really look up to when it comes to training, it's him, dude. That freaking Thor, dude. He's the fucking god of jungliness, dude. And so anyway, he's discovered that too, and he does a lot of training like that, right? I'm not gonna go send them a message and be like, hey, bro, bro, you should take that off.
I made that motion with the wrist. So I got a patent on rotating the wrist.
Oh my God, dude. I was just like, the fact that he was doing it, I knew I was doing something right. Do you know what I mean? Like it inspired me to even do more and start doing it even more. Because this dude is so strong, dude. I bet you if the moon ever lost its fucking gravity and came close to Earth, we just call him to fucking flick the moon back into place, bro.
He's strong like a bull, man.
He's strong as hell. And so when he started doing it, you know, I got inspired. I was like, oh, so I was doing something right. And what do you call it? Similar minds think alike, or like minds think alike, or some shit.
Like birds of a feather flock together.
So, but anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Just kind of the whole guru thing, you know. So that's it, man.
Any guru that I've known, I've heard about, they've always like an ulterior motive, and they've always led their followers into their death or destruction. Remember Jim Jones? I know we're going off subject a bit here, but Jim Jones,
it's the same shit. That it's just,
remember during the times of racism, he was the only white priest that allowed black people into his church. No, don't be racist to them, bring them in. And he got all people from different races, and they felt, oh wow, this white man is accepting us. So it made them follow him immediately. But once he established the following, didn't he killing them all?
Dude, that's where you get like the phrase like, man, dude, that's to eat that the guy drank too much Kool-Aid or something.
You know what I mean? It's every time it starts off, yeah. Of course, when a cult leader wants to come to you, he's gonna come with nice words and compliments and all that. But once he gets his following, he's gonna lead like a tyrant.
Yes.
This is the thing about these gurus, because there's a level of narcissism involved in thinking that you're some kind of authority in something that God created. There's a kind of narcissism, and narcissism, we know, is a funny human trait, isn't it? It's almost like you start believing that you're on levels with God. It's a kind of, so you look down at other human beings. So even his followers, they're not like him. Because if you imagine thinking you're a god, that movie 100, and they've got the
300?
god, Xerxes, Spartans, Xerxes, the man god. Didn't you see the way he was?
Yeah.
When he's walking down, he have to bend over and he has to walk on their backs. Because you get to a point where you start thinking you're beyond humanity, and you start talking to people in a way that's not very nice,
Yeah, exactly. And that's a big sign, like a red light. You see it in every type of guru, and the deceit is in their words. So you have to read between the lines, dude. Or as one of my favorite bands say, read between the lies.
Yeah.
You gotta read between the lies, dude.
When it's only the N, to just take the N out,
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a very long topic, but now that we're on topic, well, let's get back into the training. We'll talk about the training today. And I finally got of course, the book collection's not complete, but the essential books that I'm going to be putting on my channel. My channel should go up next month. I'm gonna get it going in December. And so here is the gauntlet of books that I'm going to be using, which will give me a lot of material for a while. Okay. And again, my attempt is to show how to perform these exercises properly, or the best way possible, because a lot of the texts, they couldn't explain them very well back then. And I believe like this kind of exercise, my goal is that once I teach people how to do it, you just kind of go on your own. And it's my way of getting at the gurus and saying like, you can't charge for shit that's free, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. You bring me back to a saying, I'm not your healer. I'm just the person that reminded you of the healing within yourself.
Exactly. Oh, dude, you said it so good, bro. Anyway, so my first one is Solitary Fitness.
Oh, Bronson himself.
Yeah, man. And this is a great book, man. This bloke, this geezer, is a master of his body, mate, when it comes to training.
Yes.
Okay. And he talks about dynamic tension here. A lot of that is in here. He talks about the mentalism and the breathing. All these
He's been in prison for over 40 years. So he's been
he's
had to use things like metal bars, isometrically, whatever he gets hands on within that, and he's still in top shape.
Not even bars, dude. He got to the point, there's a part in here where he says his mind is the key. He will get like a box and like make a make-believe chair out of it, and then he'll imagine that chair is really fucking heavy, dude. And he explains how to do exercises like that in here. So this is a very good book where it covers not only the training, but the mind aspect, the diet. Very complete book, and very simple, to the point, in your face, dude. Anywhere, anytime, no equipment at all. And I mean, I love my bull worker, but this dude, not even a bull worker, nothing, to the exception like cardboard or something like that.
Or maybe a folded up mattress or something funny.
Yeah.
So that's all he's got access.
Well, here's the one and all. The dynamic tension, very excellent, against which it covers diet, breathing, state of mind, spirituality. It's all connected because our whole body is not just carnal, but it's got a soul, and that soul interacts with the freaking physical aspects.
Yes.
So then, of course, the Max Alden, Muscle Control. These are all great books. These are the basics. If you can master the training with this, bro, look at that body, mate.
I know that is ripped to the.
And they weren't huge, but these motherfuckers back in the day, men back in the days produced more testosterone than nowadays, mate.
Of course. The grit in their bones, what was inside their bone marrows was something different.
Dude, and they were fucking strong as a motherfucker, dude. Do you know what I mean? Like back in the days, if a guy told you like talk to the hand and they grabbed your face, they can literally like scrape it off with the fucking fingers, dude.
Real talk.
Those were tough, man.
Like circus strong.
Mm-hmm. And that's where they had all those old what do you call old strength men or whatever. Old school strength. And they started off in the circus because bodybuilding wasn't the same way, but these motherfuckers used to like bend bars and do all kinds of shit. Granted, the steel nowadays is stronger, whatnot. Still, man, I can't take one of those bars. The shit that these guys did, like carry like freaking 10 chicks on their shoulders and shit like that, dude.
Or lift up a bar that's the bar is about this thick, you can't even get your hand around it. And or dumbbell with that bar.
Carry a fucking horse across a river, dude, on your shoulders. A fucking horse, dude.
That's something.
Are you kidding me? I could barely pick up my fucking dog, dude.
Do that. That's the end of your career. Modern man does that, and that's the end of career. Hospital for the rest of your life, man.
Dude, you will fucking tear a hernia into your soul, dude.
Yeah, the old guys, they were something one day because they had limited options. Sometimes maybe that makes you think too much options, too much complacency makes the man weak. You remember that film? I always liked, you see, I love to bring analogies from movies. Remember The Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
Batman fought Bane. And Bane tricked Batman through Catwoman, and they were in that place, that big fight scene between Batman and Bane. And then Batman tried to throw a punch, and Bane caught it, and he goes, he looked at all the gadgets on Batman's hand, and he goes, these have cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you. And that bar, it sticks to my head. So he told him all these tools. You know, Batman's got loads of gadgets.
Yes.
Bane said, these have cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you. Because he was winning with those tools. When Batman comes, he will shoot that rappel there. He will shoot that. He will throw the smoke.
Exactly.
Bane was just going with his raw hands. He was still ripping things apart. So that's what, when he said, these have cost you your strength, it meant something deep in my head. I was like, all these fancy tools that we're using, we're not using our hands anymore.
No, we're not, dude.
Hands. That's why they look different.
Well, how about, now you're talking about that too, that goes on not just the power, but the mental acuity, the mental power that we have too. I mean, we have these cell phones. They're not really cell phones. They're fucking computers disguised as cell phones. This one cat said that, and I liked it. So I forgot who it was, what's his name, but I'm using it. And so just giving credit to somebody else. I didn't come up with it, but I like it. You know, and they are computers disguised as cell phones. And recently, more and more, like the cell phone is just doing the things for you, like making decisions for you. For example, like you'll be turning the music up to, you know, you want to crank it up, you want to listen to it. You know what loud is. You know the repercussions of listening to loud music on headphones. But sometimes you just like, you know what, they're my fucking ears. I know that. And I'm gonna fucking blast those ears to smithereens if I want to, because this is my jam. So anyway, now the phone tells you, like, it stops you and then tells you, like, you do know that list
sound alert, noise alert, air health. Now.
The phone here tells you, like, you do know that listening to high volume for a long time is detrimental to your auditory system, to your hearing. And I'm just looking at the phone like, you fucking cunt. You do know we invented you. We created you, you fucking cunt.
Like,
It's like this. Yeah, it's like, I know that. I've been going to heavy metal concerts since I was a little kid, and I love it. You know, if I needed that, I can take care of that myself. Another thing is the whole thing of giving you ideas of what to type before
yeah,
you type it.
you're not allowing me to use my brain anymore.
So you lose your ability to use words.
These tools have cost us our strength.
Yes, yes. Or the constantly changing, adjusting like the light on your phone, like making it dim after like 5 minutes. It's just like, I have a charger. And if my battery dies, then it fucking dies. Let me tell you what to do. You don't control, you're the fucking tool, dude. I use you. You don't use me, bitch. You know? So what you said about Bane, was that his name? Bane?
Bane, that's when, yeah, Bane.
He was right on it, man. You
He was.
great. And we're going on it. Modern man, we have all the tools, but we're weak as fuck, dude.
They've cost us our strength. Because now, if you want to cut your nails, you have to get this thing, a file, and all this. Back in the days, these guys probably used to just rip it out, bite it off. You know, and if you wanted to hit a piece of rock, they'll probably get another rock and hit it on top. Now we've got this sledgehammer that's giving you leverage to just make a rock feel like butter. When before, breaking a rock was a physical labor.
Yes.
Now you want to take a piece of brick up this to the first floor. You've got these little hydraulic things that just they just pump it up the stairs. Before, we were dragging those up the stairs.
Yeah.
Different. These tools are costing us our strength.
No, of course, there's tools are essential, but just how far do you go? And it's funny that you say that about the nails, dude. My wife gets on my case about that because, like she's always telling me, clip your nails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But dude, I use like a nail clipper maybe 3 times a year just to say I could use it. I fucking make a little bite and then just rip them. I rip them off, bro.
That's whatever good germs gets in there, the immune system deals with it. There's some kind of
exactly
going on.
And the toenails are the hardest ones. So before I rip off my freaking regular nails from here, my fingernails, I rip those off first.
That's how we do them before these tools were invented. Before the lighter was invented, they used to strike stones together, which required a certain level of coordination and focus and harmony to allow this to happen. Then you get it onto that smoking ember thing, and then you blow it and then make the fire rise. You see, this was a skill. Now you just get a lighter and do that. What the fuck?
I can still do that.
Yeah, I can't do it. These are skills that made people strong. These were things that made people strong. And you see the people that do these things, the people that still go into the forest like you do, I'm talking about you now, you still set traps, you catch the wild boars, you still do agriculture, you grow your food and you eat your food. So you still got some connection to the original human strength and the human potential. But the more you come into this modern world here, where it's items of convenience and tools to make life easy, and you sit down on a recliner sofa, and then we've got something that will make the soup for you. And yeah, you understand, we're losing everything.
Yeah, it's too much, man.
Them Hawaiian guys on TV, yeah, when they say, yeah, this is how you break a coconut. And when he slaps that coconut, yeah, I'm thinking, man, I do not want this guy to touch me on the face with that slap.
Bro, he slaps the coconut into juice, dude.
Slaps the coconut and it's in half, and you're thinking, what the hell is going on?
That motherfucker slaps the coconut and it turns into coconut cake, dude.
I'm saying. And these are the people this is how we're meant to be. This is how we're meant to be. I don't know. I just believe that we're built to be strong. We're built to be strong.
We're built to be strong because we're really fragile, actually, compared to all the other animals.
Yes.
So we were built to for our bodies to become accustomed to adversity. And through the mind of our power, through our will, we decide we could, in essence, dominate the planet.
Yes.
I heard, I guess the word I might not have chosen the proper word, but I don't care what anybody says. See, a lot of people seem to think like, you know, especially all the Greenpeace and all this stuff, and you tend to hear nowadays a lot of anti-humanism, you know, and that's very dangerous too. Nobody's saying that we're perfect, because we do a lot of wacky shit, and they seem to think like nature is really noble and kind, the animals and stuff like that. Animals don't give a fuck about anybody, and they don't give a fuck about the animals either. That's a brutal, vicious life. Nature doesn't give a shit about you. If a tornado's coming, it's not going to be like, oh, there's Gio's house, dude, I'm just going to call by, hey dude, I don't want to destroy your vegetables, you know.
Nature is about survival of the fittest. So for you to be fit, you got to be strong.
That's right. And the one thing about human beings is that human beings, just like, for example, our cells, everything in our organism, our body, it's got little organisms, and it all interacts with itself, and it's all part of this whole body, and everything has a little job to keep this body going. What people don't realize, and they don't seem to realize, you know, they talk about, oh, if the human beings were gone, the earth would be so beautiful. No, it wouldn't. The earth would be a fucking afro of trees, dude, and just madness. And we were given this position, this beauty of being a human being, and why we should strive to be better is because we do have a special position, not better, but we have a special position, and that is the power of our mind. We took this thing and we said, oh, there's a tiger there, guess what, I got a shotgun. Boom, dude. I mean, that's a horrible example, but
then,
you know,
ability, we believe that we were the gods. We believe we gave it to.
Yes, but this going back to the we are all part of this beautiful thing, and for humans to be gone, because I hear a lot of, oh, this world would be better when all humans are gone. I hate humans. Motherfucker, you must hate yourself too, dude. You know, and with that mentality, the world gets even worse. But instead, see the potential in the beautiful opportunity to be a human being. The things that we can do that are fucking awesome.
Yes, what we can perceive, what we can use our brains to do.
The good things, the positive things.
Without forgetting the body.
Without forgetting the body. And this whole thing about, you know, having cattle chained in little boxes and stuff like that, and grown to the point where their limbs give out and stuff like that. That's wrong. But I have no problem going out there and hunting an animal and killing it and eating it.
Why not?
That's
how we survive.
And that is the whole cycle of life. We're part of that, just like the wolves and tigers and stuff like that. If we're gone, this planet will go to hell, and vice versa. If we destroy other things, then the planet can go to hell too. There's just an imbalance, but we're part of the organism. The earth needs us as much as we need it, period.
Yes.
And with that, I'll let you know, finally, the last book. Sorry, bro. Boom. This is it right here. This guy, look him up. Okay. John E. Peterson. Okay. He took all those manuals, especially the Charles Atlas one, and the first guy to really, really make a book that really explains it very well. Every exercise, the breathing, the diet, the mentality, everything. This is it right here, dude. So I look forward to that channel, man, and I'm gonna use all these books and bring it on.
What's his name again? Charles E. Peterson.
John E. Peterson.
Peterson. I just had to grab my charger quickly, it's fine.
Okay, so look him up and look at the book Pushing Yourself to Power, and then Isometric Power Revolution, or Transformetrics.
Transformetrics.
Yes.
Using some very peculiar words.
The other one, dude, this one awesome. I've done this one since I was 19.
That looks almost like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan.
Yeah, dynamic strength. And can you believe this dude's name is Harry Wong? And it's a joke within everybody, like Harry Wong,
Yeah, that does sound a bit, you know what I mean?
That's a little crazy. But anyway, so man, I gotta watch myself because I always cut you off. That's not a good thing.
No, man. You got things you're saying.
You got things to say too.
Yeah, so we just flowing, man. Don't know, man. There's no apologies, man.
Well, let's go ahead and put a cap on it. Let's leave off with something and take this whole thing and put a little capsule on it and say, here it is, damn, bada ging bandung.
Yeah, I mean, we've covered a lot of good points, and yeah, about this guru thing. Like I said in one of the things earlier, I said, I am not your healer. I just helped you to identify and remember the part of you that heals. So be careful when people are there telling you, oh, follow this way, do this, do that. Okay, maybe initially you could do that, but remember, it's the way that you're after. You're not after the person, because the person is a human. And humans are, one thing we know about humans, we're flawed. Even if you have the way of peace and you have the way of synchronicity, the way of power, the way is pure, but the man with the way is impure. So find a way to learn the way without worshiping the person who is presenting the way, because the person is a human. And one thing I know about humans, we're imperfect. We've got carnal desires. We've got selfish desires, and we're always out for our own good. Nothing wrong with it. That's how we were created. But there's something imperfect about the human nature itself.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Ways are perfect. Disciplines are perfect. Structures are perfect. Those are set in stone. But human beings are very flexible. So do not follow the guru, follow the way. The way is what's going to lead you to where you need to go. And the person is just a vessel that is, what's the word? A vessel that is containing the information of the way.
Yeah, and sometimes that vessel is broken, so you got to make sure you don't get in a freaking busted up car.
Exactly. Yes. So I think that follow the way and not just the vessel.
Okay, that sounds good, man. Well, we leave it with that, and like always, everybody comes together, whether it's with ideas, with a moment in time, whether it's a barbecue, and minds come together to share some love, to share some thoughts. Out of those interactions with each other, there comes heat as we bond and create the friction of ideas and passions and love. We can get together to bear that light. Awesome, bro. Rock and roll. Peace out and keep it jungly.
Yes, my brother. Peace and love. Peace and love and respect, my brother.
Okay, man. Let me know when you got it ready. All right. I look forward to this one too.
Yes,
and don't forget to name it, bro. Give it an awesome name, like always.
Of course.
Okay. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye, brother.